Welcome to Dr. Kush's Exotic Drinks. I'm, of course, Dr. Kush, along with my barback Kyle. I'm not a real doctor, but I did spend almost 2 decades running some of LA's best bars. After years of teaching classes and training bartenders, I want to demystify the cocktail world for you. Let's try a few new things as I open up my bar to everybody. Belly up, chat, and let's have a drink. Hi guys, welcome to Dr. Kush's Exotic Drinks. Oh, hey, it's me, it's Dr. Kush. We are here today after a kind of a long weekend. Figured we would jump back into the fall of Fizz and see what we can do about making some more Fizzes. And absolutely, because this was a kind of a long weekend for me, maybe we could figure out how to make a bit of a hangover cure, and that's what Fizzes really are. And so we're going to be making one of the most famous hangover cures possibly ever, but definitely within the Fizz category, and certainly in the category of Tiki and Fizzes, as this is Tiki Tuesday, but also the fall of Fizz. So that's what we're up to. We are making a Suffering Bastard. We're going to be talking a little bit about the Suffering Bastard today, but we are going to do a more in-depth Suffering Bastard look at some point, because there are 1,000 versions of this cocktail. Some change the name slightly to the Dead Bastard and the Dying Bastard, and some of them are actually just when Trader Vic decided, hey, I want that too. That's my, you created that? I'll take that. If you don't mind, I'll just hand that over to me and I'll take it from you. So that's what we're up to. I'm also coming in pretty hot from a long day at the beach, doing a little workout there. So my goodness, what a day. If you guys don't mind 1 second, I'm just gonna win an award for myself. This doesn't help you at all, but I just wanna move my screen a little bit. I just wanna dip this down a ton. That's better. My good friend, you know him as probably Greg. You've heard of Greg. He runs the camera at Mixed Cocktail Hour. Oh, big news about Mixed Cocktail Hour coming up. There's a live show coming up. We're going to be doing a live show, it turns out, on October 17th. Anyway, Greg tells me that in order to look good, I have to have a light right here. It's got to be right here. You guys can see that there is definitely a light up here. The problem with it is it's framed just outside so that I get this glow upon my head, but that means that if my camera is tilted up even just a little bit, big bright lights, it looks like the heavens are angry coming down at me. So that's what we're doing. That's what we just did. We fixed cameras here in the middle of streaming. Speaking of the middle of streaming, let me say hello to the people. Let me say hello over here to our good friend Moose. I pushed the wrong button, Moose, and I apologize, but I didn't want to cut that monkey off in case that monkey is saying something in a monkey language that I can't understand. Maybe it's saying something important, and I didn't want to cut it off. So here you go, Moose. Moose. Good evening, Shawnee Panabaker. Good to see you, Shawnee Panabaker. Here's Kyle looking for his little treats. Good to see you, winners of the 2024 Kush Tucky Derby. Kush Tucky Derby's coming up, guys. Coming up in May. So get your horses ready. Kush Tucky Derby is on its way. We are already, and I don't mean to scare anybody, we are already in October. I have somebody, my producer, starting Sobertober. I lost a drinking buddy. So that's fine, that's good. Everybody's got to do what they got to do, but sad. Sad either way. But it is October. Let me say hello to Amy Beer. Good evening, all. Good evening to all of Amy Beer as well. Good to see you. Dave Virtue, hey, Roger G is here, everybody. Roger G is here. Oh, let's check in since David Virtue is here. He was the 2,000 subscriber. We are now at 2,100 and... I'll tell you exactly how many subscribers we're at. 2,154. We're at 55. I must have said something and offended somebody because they went away. 2,154. So I don't know if YouTube can sustain this kind of growth. I don't know if we're just overloading its servers with how many subscribers we're getting, but we are growing fast. We are a very, very fast-moving channel. And YouTube and the Alphabet Company in general is going to have to deal with that because we're taking over. This is our world. They're just living in it. Let me say hello to Dougie G. Howdy, y'all. Howdy to Doug. Congratulations to Grant. To be fair, Grant has been married for at least a year at this point. This was just a celebration. So, hope the bros' wedding was epic. It was epic. There was a lot. There was a lot going on. Had some family in town. You know, the whole thing. How was the wedding, Dr. Kush? Did you have any cocktails? There was a cocktail served there that my brother liked. My brother, oddly, did not come to me and ask me to help him create cocktails. I would have done it, but he did not want that, which I guess is fine. There was a cocktail there that he served called the Roer's Right. And it sounds kind of a silly name. It is part root beer and part Coors Light. That's it. The Roer's Right. So to answer your question, I didn't have a lot of cocktails. No, I did not. I did not party with a lot of cocktails. No, I stuck with White Claw for a lot of it, and then did a little. I did the driving, so I had to be cool. You know, we could have. I have this stuff right here. If he wants, oh gosh, is that way out of focus? Win an award real quick. I didn't have any time to come in and do any checking of this. There we go. We'll have to do right there. I didn't really get to check all the cameras, which is why some of them are a little out of focus. I don't know how cameras go so out of focus. This is birch right here. Would have loved to make a cocktail with some birch. Tastes a lot like sarsaparilla. Pretty nice, but you know. Can't tell your brother everything. Yes, congratulations, Grant. Absolutely. Hello from Juneau, Alaska. Hello, Bon Bon. I guess just in case everybody wanted to know, Bon Bon is in Juneau, Alaska, or the other Juneau. Bon Bon, not a big fan of that. Did Scooby Doo create that? Who's right? Maybe. Good call. Good call. Yes, Lulu. Oh wait, sorry. Is Lulu here? Everybody knows where I'm at. Don't call me. Bon Bon, are you in the ship? Calling in from the ship? And yes, Lulu is calling in from the ship. Or sorry, Bon Bon is calling in from the ship. What is going on? I guess Bon Bon's on the ship. Have fun on your ship, Bon Bon. We love to see you here, but go enjoy your ship. These classes not only will always remain free, but will also always remain on YouTube. So, I don't know about always, but for the time being. So you can always watch these things later. I like having you here, but, you know, go enjoy your ship. 1 second. Something's happening over on Facebook. Why? I don't know. Okay. Anyway, if you want to comment, if you are watching us over on Instagram or you're watching us over on Facebook, you got to comment over on YouTube. Find YouTube. Dr. Kush. Yes, we need a Kush cruise. Okay. If we do a Kush cruise, we're going to need to do something in the mornings because the Kush cruises usually will go late. I've never been on a Kush cruise. I wouldn't even know where to begin with something like that. But if and when and how and where and why the Kush cruise happens, we will probably have a few drinks into the evening. And from there, we're going to need something to calm our heads. Now, the great news about the fall of Fizz, which is the journey we are on right now, where we are going to be examining only one type of cocktail, the Fizz cocktail. The good news about that is that Fizzes were originally invented to be hangover cures. Same thing with a lot of cocktails, but these ones specifically, that bubbly water is meant to sort of perk you up. And what else will help you perk up but off-brand ginger beer? No, I guess it's not off-brand. It's Kroger brand. Is that an off-brand? Kroger. Kroger ginger beer. I bought like 3 cases of this a while ago. I have not been able to get through it. Why? Because I don't drink a lot of ginger beer. Either way, we need to make this cocktail. Now, there are lots of different versions of this cocktail. We are only going to be making one version today, and we are not going to be making the Trader Vic's version, even though that is the more tiki-fied version. We have to talk about another guy named Joe Scialom. Now, we have talked about Joe Scialom on the show before. Joe Scialom is one of my bartending heroes. He was an Egyptian guy. He was a Jewish guy. He lived in Cairo. People thought he was a spy, spoke a lot of different languages, a super good, not a mixologist. He was probably a very good mixologist as well because he was a chemist. But the more important thing, I think, is that he was a good bartender. He was a guy that will remember you when you came in. He would know what drink you're about to get. He would absolutely be able to chat with you in all sorts of languages, all sorts of ways. This is what makes you a good bartender. To be a good bartender, I believe, this is what I would tell my guys, you have to be interested. Interested. People that are trying to be interesting are one thing. I don't know anything about that. You go be interesting all you want. Be interesting on your own time, though. You want to be around people, you need to be interested. And that is a harder thing to do, I believe, because not all people are interesting. It's easy to be interested when somebody's interesting. It is harder when you are the interesting one, but you have to be interested. And he was absolutely interested. He would pick you out from across the bar. He'd see you come in. You were there 3 weeks ago. You sit down, you introduce yourself 3 weeks ago, and before you even said your name, you'd say, hey, and insert your own name. Hey, you, but not you. Hey, Joe, good to see you. My name is also Joe. And that's from there. He would then know your drink, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, people, when you are as good of a bartender as he is, people drink. What you want. And when you drink, your liver and the enzymes. I'm watching all these Cheers commercials, not the TV show, but the stuff. They're trying to explain that they figured out how the hangover works. I don't think they have. But they're trying to explain that it's some sort of enzyme that ends up in your liver. And then it just sort of circulates through. They're saying it's not the dehydration. They're saying it's not the late nights or the bad sleep. They're saying it's none of that. They're saying it's enzymes in the liver. I don't care what it is. The one thing that has always helped me with a hangover is to never stop drinking. So he would have to eventually come up with a hangover cure. And this is the Suffering Bastard. Now, we are going to be changing his Suffering Bastard up just a little bit, because we want to have this be a, we want it to be, listen, we're Tiki Tuesday. So we're going to change it up just a touch by first finding where tins. A lot of cleaning this week. I have I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. Check this out. This is my drawer. Usually my drawer is filled with a million things. Empty. Clorox wipes. I have a squeezer, my big tools, and then an emergency cutting board. Empty. You never see it like that. It's somewhat alarming. These are tins. We're going to use tins, but because we are, of course, making fizzes, we're not going to be putting in all the ingredients into the tins, because you put in your fizzy ingredients. Explosions. So we're going to keep that out. Let's begin by making this, because this is a hangover cure. Joe Scialom wanted to make it a universal hangover cure. Let's make it for everybody. And there is a theory. I do not subscribe to this theory, but there's a theory that if you were drinking something clear the night before, you should drink something clear the next day in order to use the hair of the dog. The hair of the dog, an old voodoo term. If a dog bites you, in order to get back at that dog, you need some of that hair. Goes to show, or goes to suggest that you need hair of the same dog. I don't know. Sometimes if I have too much tequila, which is very rarely, I don't overindulge in tequila. But if I have too much tequila, I do not want tequila for the next few months. If I have too much rum, I'll have a little bit more rum tomorrow. Are you buying rum? Because I am in. Anyway, we're going to start over here with some light. All right, we're going to split our base. Because we're making a hangover cure, we are splitting the base. Kyle is concerned. Get back at the dog. Yes. Kyle. If a dog bites you and you want to get back at the dog, you need a hair of the dog. A rare look inside Cush's drawers. Oh, Lord. Anyway. Okay, so we're going to start with clear. Now, whence this drink was created sometime around 1942. That's what we're saying, right around 1942. And that's when we start to really start to see the action, the writings about this cocktail. Vodka was not really a thing outside of, say, Russia. All right? Vodka was not anything anybody was that interested in. What they wanted instead was a little Dutch courage, a little English juice. There's no English word for it. A little English juice, a little Dutch courage, a little bit of gin. Absolutely. If you were drinking clear, you were most likely drinking some gin. So we're going to start with some gin, and we're going to be putting in 1 ounce of that stuff. 1 ounce of gin. It's I'm a little nervous about what the rest of my night looks like, because Kyle, like myself, gets fixated on things, and Kyle's last Kyle's last 3 messages are all about cursing a dog, and I'm really afraid of what Kyle is about to do in this neighborhood. Either at the house or at the bar. I don't know if he's going to start running around trying to pull dog hairs and curse dogs. I'd really prefer, Kyle, if we could have a moment together. Please don't curse any dogs. Okay. Just making sure. If you were drinking dark, you were most likely drinking brandy. Absolutely, you're most likely drinking brandy, but you could have been drinking some bourbon, absolutely, or some other type of whiskey. That's all fine, but why not? Oh, why not put something that we most likely would have been drinking? I most likely would not have been drinking brandy. I enjoy brandy, absolutely. I enjoy bourbon, sure. Absolutely I do. I enjoy lots of different types of whiskey, but what I really like is rum. So it's more likely that I would have been drinking rum the night before. So all we got to do is find a dark. Well, this is Bon Bon and Smith & Cross, but some people just call it Smith & Cross because they don't have this particular sticker. Thank you, Bon Bon, for sponsoring this bottle. This is Smith & Cross. We want to get our Smith & Cross in here. We want to find some rum that we can get in here, something nice and fun and funky and fresh. We want that in there. We want 1 ounce. So find a rum that you like, something that's dark, all right? We've already taken care of earlier. We remember that whole gin thing, the Dutch courage? We've already put in our clear. We now need to put in our dark. So find a dark rum that you like, something that has a little color to it. We need 1 ounce. Only the ones that bite me, Kyle Tender says. How many dogs? What are you doing that this many dogs are biting? My dog does not bite, but that's not my dog. Okay. We have the base in here. We now need to sort of fill the rest of this out. We are going to, 1 second. I'm worried I'm on the wrong channel. Hair of the dog, eye of the newt, curses and voodoos. Is this the Halloween episode of the Fall Fizz? No, we will be doing one of those though. Dry ice, etc. We're gonna get real weird with it, Roger. We're just ramping up. This whole show is all about just ramping up. You guys might not recognize this as lime juice, but please, oh please, oh please. There we go. Trust me that it is. This is lime juice. I was making cocktails for some people, squeezed a few extra limes, and so I saved some lime juice. This is just Roger's, sorry, what? Good catch, Roger. I'm not all here today. This is just lime juice that was left over from before. We're going to use it. How much? If you just think about it, guys, we are basically, we're building a, we're building this, basically the equivalent of a, what do you call one of those? A sour. So 2 ounces of booze, 3/4 ounce of some sour. 3/4 ounce of some lime juice. Let me say that. Can I say that real clear? 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice. 3/4 of an ounce of some lime juice. Right there. Now, because we're not just putting soda water in it, we are also putting sugary, sweet soda water in it. We are not going to balance this out with any kind of sweetener. All right. It's not time now to pull out your honey and honey this thing up. This is not a baked ham. This is not a delicious, delicious baked ham. I wish it was a baked ham, but it is not. It is a suffering bastard. We have that in there. We're going to be putting in our sweetener later. But what we do need is a little bit of this. Some people call it bartender ketchup. I kind of like that. I think that kind of makes sense. But a lot of people just call it Angostura bitters. It looks like this in its bottle. You guys know this, but just in case anybody isn't watching or hasn't been watching for forever, this is what Angostura bitters looks like. Angostura bitters created, as the story goes, created by two brothers. The two brothers, like brothers do, didn't really get along. They got along fine until one of them started doing too well. And then, of course, everybody hates when your brother does too well. One of them went out to buy bottles to bottle this stuff in, brought it back. The other one made labels to label this stuff in, and they did not talk. They didn't talk about it. So what happens is you get all this excess paper here that a lot of bars will rip off, but I think that's silly. So the label was always too big for the bottle. Neither one of the brothers would budge. Both of the brothers said, hey, screw you, pal. I don't like you. I don't like your face. I don't like the slight differences in your face to my face. I don't like it. And thus, Angostura has a very silly packaging, but recognizable. Who knows if that's the reason that Angostura is still around. This stuff in and of itself is a great hangover cure. It is just medicine. It is just herbs. It is bitters. We're going to go ahead and put in 3 dashes of some Angostura bitters. Perfect. Alrighty, Roo. Get ready. Lots and lots of ice. Guys, this is a hangover cure, all right? We need this to be cool and cold and also be one of your favorite things. Now, if one of your favorite things isn't ice, I don't know what else you can put in here that's cool and cold like that, but ice is one of my favorite things. So when I'm having a hangover, I want lots and lots of ice. Grab lots and lots of ice. See how much ice? Ooh. We're not being demure with that. We're not being mindful. We're being overly ridiculous about how much ice we put in there. Lots and lots of ice, and then give it a squeeze. With the fizz, as always, we need to give this a huge shake. Even though we're going to be serving this one over some more ice, we still want to give this one a real big shake. But get it nice and cold, get everything moving in there. Because we're going to be watering this down with some ginger beer, but we really want this to be nice and chilly. All right, so give this a big old shake. Cold hands. All right. This drink does have a traditional glass that goes with it. The traditional glass is usually a large vase. This is how many of these Joe Scialom would make. He would pour them into a large vase. When the Tiki Boys got a hold of it, specifically Trader Vic got a hold of not the recipe for the Suffering Bastard, just the name. Just the name. He created a cocktail glass for it. I think it's pretty cool. I got this at a Trader Vic's. I got it in the San Jose airport. Apparently, San Jose wants me to wants me to go back there as soon as possible. Because if you put a tiki bar, a real tiki bar, whether it's Vic's or not, inside of a airport, I'm going to want to show up in your town. So I think that they're calling me. Anyway, even though my bag was super full when I was flying back home, I did find a little place for this. It used to be called, this is a fun little fact, this guy used to be not named the Suffering Bastard. He used to be named Mai Tai Joe. Mai Tai Joe. And then they changed his name to the Suffering Bastard. We're going to use him in just a second. Because we want to get our ginger beer correct. Tips and tricks, tips and tricks, tips and tricks. Are we ready for tips and tricks? If you pour this drink into here and then just decide, I'm just going to fill it up the rest of the way with ginger beer, every cocktail is going to be different. Well, we don't want that. We want to measure out our ginger beer, homemade or not, or, you know, whatever. We want to go ahead and put in 4 ounces of ginger beer. We're going to put it into this. We're going to put it into this guy. Not into this yet. Into this so far. So grab that. 4 ounces of ginger beer. Oh, we bubbled over. We weren't paying attention. Oh, right there. Touch more. This tips and tricks will do one thing. Two things. It will. This tips and tricks, by putting the ginger beer into this, it'll do 2 things. 1, it'll give you the proper amount of ginger beer. 2, it will mix your ginger beer well into your cocktail, because now you're going to take this part, and you're going to pour it into what used to be known as Mai Tai Joe, but is now known as the Suffering Bastard Cup. So all that ginger beer on top, that's going to go right down there to the bottom. And all the fizziness will find its way to the top. Oh, you know what? I think we nailed it without doing this. Oh, look at that. Let's bring in this camera real quick just to show you look how close to the top we got. Whoo-wee! Scotty Du Bois says that's some frost on the shaker. Eventually, as a bartender, Scotty Du Bois, one of 2 things dies, and sometimes both things die. Either your cold heart or your ability to feel cold on your hands. I no longer have any issue with feeling cold on my hands. It's like that scene from A Christmas Story where he licks the thing, where he licks the pole. I can go around and just grab poles like this. Maybe I shouldn't say that online. Can I erase part of this? I can go around and grab very cold things and have no issue with it because I've shaken so many. I have oh, not that one. I have asbestos deep in my hands. Probably not a great thing. Normally we would put a little orange in here. Normally we put a little mint in here. Nothing I can do about that. So instead we're gonna put something else green. This right here is a lime. We're just gonna float this lime right on top there. So it sticks out. That's pretty darn good. And we are going to grab us one of these. It's a straw. You guys heard of these before? Pretty darn cool. Throw that in here. And there we have it. This is the Suffering Bastard. It is served in an old Mai Tai Joe glass, now known as a Suffering Bastard glass. It is our own version of it, not because we're some brilliant bartender that changed everything. We are drinking what we would normally drink. If I'm going to have too much of anything, I'm going to have too much rum. So we put a little rum in there, and that is the same thing. Yeah, Dougie G worked in a kitchen, so I have the same tolerance for heat. Yeah, I also have a pretty high tolerance for heat, but nothing like cold. Thank you, Stephanie Husband, winner of the 2024 Kentucky Derby. Well done, looks great. That is a delicious cocktail. Do not, you know what, do this at your own peril, I suppose. Do whatever you want to do. I'm not here to moralize with you. Don't confuse this with a Moscow Mule. This is not a Moscow Mule. Moscow Mule does not have a split base, so you're getting a ton of ginger beer forward. All right, so you're getting a ton. It's a lot of ginger beer forward, and if you don't love ginger beer, you're gonna have a tough time with this one. Also, a Moscow Mule will usually have a bit more ginger beer, maybe another 2 ounces, maybe 6 ounces of it, a little bit of lime. What it won't have, and what's important to that, is the Angostura bitters. Now, I put Angostura bitters in my Moscow Mules. Absolutely, I do that. That is something that I do, but it's not traditional. And thus, even though it is very similar, it is also different. So don't just go thinking that these are the two of the same thing. Cheers to you guys. Absolutely. I will reiterate. This is just a totally personal preference. Ginger beer is not my favorite thing. I don't mind it, but I don't seek it out. In this cocktail, it does so well. Find if you are going to use a brandy or if you're going to use a bourbon, try and find an overproofed bourbon or brandy. Try it. Do it. Brandy maybe will stand up. Brandy has a big brandy flavor. I feel like some bourbons will get lost in this whole cocktail. So try and find like, can I give you a suggestion? Wild Turkey 101. That's a great overproof bourbon. Big flavors. Perfect for cocktails. Wild Turkey 101. Did I just stutter step a little bit? Wild Turkey 101. Perfect for cocktails. I think it would be really good in this. If you're just going to go grab some Buffalo Trace, put it in here, maybe not. Maybe don't do that. Maybe save your Buffalo Trace for something else. If you're going to put just like some makers in here, maybe skip it. Wild Turkey 101 if you're going to do bourbon. Otherwise, find an overproofed, interesting, funky Jamaican rum to get into your Suffering Bastard, and you will be in heaven. If you can find an overproof gin, that'll be pretty cool. I made an announcement. Oh! If you are fans of the television show, the TV program, Mixed Cocktail Hour, tune in to youtube.com/Mixed Cocktail Hour on October 17th. October 17th, Tammy and I will be back and live. We have some very cool things coming up, including I will be working with a band called, should I say it? Yeah, I guess I can say it. A band called Skid Row. Anybody ever heard of Skid Row? We'll be working with Skid Row and their very interesting rum that is coming up over at Mixed Cocktail Hour. We're doing a little restructure, but we're going to figure out the whole thing. Oh, yes, Plymouth Navy Strength Gin. That's exactly right. Yes. Buffalo Trace must be cheap out there. I guess it's not expensive. I like barrel-aged gin in mine. First of all, hello, low-carb cocktail guy. Now, low-carb cocktail guy, this is if you guys don't mind, I'm going to talk to my good friend, low-carb cocktail guy, another cocktail dude, another internet cocktail dude. Can you call it barrel-aged gin? Can you call it that? I feel like you have to call it barrel-rested. I feel like there was a reason for that, and now I can't remember. Can you call it, can you age gin? I think you call it barrel-rested gin. Yes, welcome back to Mix. 18th and life to go. What? Oh, let me say hello to Bootopia. Good evening. That is what we got for you. I think we did it. Yes, well, welcome back to Mix. Yeah. Anyway, we have some oh, Skid Row. Was that a Skid Row song? Sorry. I know a lot about their rum at this point. Aged in teak. We'll get into it later. That's what I got for you guys. We are back here on Thursday. We will be back here on Saturday as well. We will have to schedule something for the next Tuesday. Don't worry about it. But we are back here on Thursday. We will be doing Thirsty Thursday here. We will be doing a big show on Saturday. My thought on it is why not just jump right into it? And we will be doing the Ramos Gin Fizz on Thursday. On Saturday. If that's something you guys are into, we will do the Ramos Gin Fizz 3 different ways to sort of show how one of the more popular drinks is made and possibly a much easier way to make it. That's my thought, unless all of you hate the Ramos Gin Fizz. Bootopia clearly likes it, so maybe we'll just go with that. This Thursday, we will be making and shaking some Ramos Gin Fizzes. So that'll be, this Saturday. I don't know why I want to do it on Thursday. This Thursday, we'll be doing a Thirsty Thursday show. This Saturday, we'll be doing Ramos Gin Fizzes and get a paint can shaker for that. Absolutely. What? Oh gosh, a paint like in The Simpsons, where Bart shook up Homer's beer and then exploded. That's a good idea. We're gonna be doing some of ours with nitrous oxide because that's a cool way to make a Ramos Gin Fizz. That's what I got for you guys. You're very welcome, Stephanie Husband and Michael Husband. Cheers to you as well. And in the future, I will see you. That future will be Thursday, and this Thursday we will eventually answer the question: Are
you Dr. Jinga Janga?
I don't know if we'll ever answer that question, but maybe we will. Maybe we'll yippee a little bit. Thank you, Dunkley. Go at home, make a suffering bastard. It's time. As always, thank you guys for showing up. Watch these little credits. These little credits are the people that support the show. And if you are not on that credit list, you are still supporting the show because you're here. That's also important. These people do it financially. As always, thank you guys so much, and we will see you on Thursday for another edition of The Fall of Fizz. Bye-bye. Basically saying bye-bye.